Welcome back. Well, give me a second. Alright. Sorry about that. That was just like temporary hair dye. If you're wondering why I changed my shirt, which you're probably not, it just leads me into a good talking point. But it's because it got wet when I was trying to take the hair dye off, and because it revealed my place of work. And speaking of my place of work, you might have noticed I didn't upload last week, and the week before I uploaded on a Friday. So I was gonna upload last week. I wrote like a script and everything, but I ran out of time because I started a new job. And if my voice kind of sounds like more dead than usual, it's because I have a job. I'm a camp counselor, so now I have to run around with children all day. So I have like no motivation to like write a video or film a video like I am right now. So for the next few weeks, if I don't upload as consistently, that's why. But that was just a little introduction. Let's get into the main point of the video. Okay. So I reserved a Steam Deck. I gave in to the hype. You know, as much as I like doing scripts, I feel like I could just kind of talk, and I feel like I'd know a lot of stuff. I bit the bullet. I reserved a Steam Deck. I actually did this like a few weeks ago as of recording this, but didn't get around to filming a video. It was literally midnight when I did it. And I'm not sure if it was a good decision or not, but I still remember what it was that kind of pushed me over the edge to reserve a Steam Deck, because I've been thinking about doing it since earlier this year. I just didn't get around to doing it until recently. So I was watching a Wolf Den Twitch stream in my bed at like midnight. Don't tell my dad. And Bob read a chat asking if buying a 64GB Steam Deck and just using a large SD card would be fine, and like just load the games off the SD card and it would like run well.
Is it viable to get a $400 Steam Deck and slap the NVMe later?
Not
yes.
bad for a dead guy, huh?
It's totally viable. Just do that. Also, just use a micro SD card. People say it's not as fast, but it'll be totally fine for you.
I don't know what it was in me, but I just got out of bed and ran to my computer, turned it on, went to Steam, and reserved a Steam Deck. Because that's the only valley I'd like go down if I wanted to reserve a Steam Deck. And so hearing that it would work well, I don't know, it just did something to my brain. It was kind of like, you need to do this now, or you're never getting this. So I reserved it. I probably should have thought about it more before I did it, but I'm not gonna do that. It was only the $5 reservation, so I'm still gonna have to wait until after Q3 of this year to reserve it, to buy it actually. After October 2022 isn't very helpful, Valve. But they have claimed that they're speeding up production quite a bit, so maybe I will actually get it before the end of this year. Maybe I'll even have it by the time I get my Loki, depending on when I can get my Steam Deck and when Ein is able to get the Lokis shipped out. I was one of the first people that ordered it, I think. It's in like the first batch at least, because I ordered it the night it went live. So I should get it as soon as it releases. The hype will have definitely died down by the time I get my Steam Deck, but I think it's going to be cool to see how a $400 device that Valve is definitely losing money from selling at that price will compare to an $800 device, retail price, I paid $685, that I don't think Ein is losing any money from. If not, they're like making very slim profits. Weirdly enough, I'm not, like I wasn't and still am not really a PC gamer. Like the closest I've ever gotten to playing PC games is playing Celeste on my PC. But during the Steam summer sale, after I reserved my Steam Deck and after I already knew I was getting the Loki, I bought 10 games. I think I spent a ton of money there. But I bought like all the Witcher games, I bought Control, I bought Sonic Mania. I think the 3 most recent Tomb Raider games, like the big ones, not like spin-offs or anything. I have a section in my Steam library labeled Play on Loki/Deck, so I'll definitely be testing these games out once I get these devices. The games I bought are either like low-powered games that don't require any effort, like Celeste, or other games like Sonic Mania that can run on my Ein Odin through the Windows port that someone made, or larger games that take up a lot of power and a lot of space. So we'll have to see about that. But if you want the real reason I reserved a Steam Deck, it's because of the Switch and what it can't do. Don't get me wrong, I love the Switch. And I know that Celeste, Untitled Goose Game, Sonic Mania, all run on there really well. But Witcher 3 definitely doesn't. And I don't think the Switch has the Tomb Raider games or Batman or the Batman Arkham games, at least not right now. And if it does get them, I don't expect it to be that good. The Switch is a device I almost exclusively use for Nintendo's mainline games, like their first party games, because they're very good at getting the most out of their hardware, and their games have a certain Nintendo charm to them. Like Mario Odyssey, Zelda, you could throw that at Square Enix or Ubisoft. I think Ubisoft made a Breath of the Wild clone, and they wouldn't have the same charm to them. They wouldn't be as fleshed out or as good, even if they are pretty good. I just would not see them as that good. And I know some people are going to be like, just get a console from this gen, like a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X. I don't want to. For one, and two, Nintendo's gotten me addicted to the handheld form factor. I know it kind of sounds weird, but this may actually get me into playing PC games. Because like the 3DS, I loved the 3DS. And the gamepad, I loved the gamepad for the Wii U. All because I could take those. I could like play it on the couch. It was awesome. And you know, for while I want a PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, I'll take them. If you give them to me, I'll play them and I'll buy them. Not sure it's really necessary, especially since Xbox is entertaining, bringing Game Pass to the Steam Deck, which means if I subscribe to Game Pass, I get a whole library of games, like humongous games. And Sony has started bringing a lot of their games, like God of War, to the PC. So, I don't know, it seems like PC gamers are getting the best of all worlds. And I'll keep my Switch for first party Nintendo games, because I mean, while emulation is cool, I kind of want the Switch. So I'd be getting a ton of games from these other companies aside from Nintendo without even owning their consoles, which is amazing. And don't tell Nintendo this, but if you do a little work in the desktop mode, you can do a bunch of emulation of their newer gen consoles like the Wii U and Switch. Don't tell them I told you that though. I don't want to get banned. It's a win-win for me. I'll have the Switch for first party Nintendo games and party like games, even though all anyone wants to play is Smash Bros. And I'll have the Steam Deck and Loki for PC games and emulation. I feel like the most likely scenario for me is that I'm going to play the Steam Deck in the house for PC games. And I'll take the Loki out of the house on like the bus and stuff and use it for PC games and emulation. Maybe some emulation on the Steam Deck, because I'm gonna fidget around with that. You know, I'm not just gonna leave it in Steam. I'm gonna use the desktop mode. When they get dual boot for Windows, I'm gonna try that out. So things may change. I'm gonna get a carrying case with the Steam Deck, but for right now, it looks like the Steam Deck is very big. So I'm gonna keep it probably inside the house for most of the time, unless it's like a car trip or something. I think I can just use the Loki outside of the house. It depends on how powerful the Loki is. I don't know if I've seen any gameplay tests of like the processor and GPU and stuff like that the Loki uses, but if it's a like considerable difference, like a noticeable difference between the Steam Deck and the Loki, I may just use the Steam Deck for PC games and the Loki for emulation. It all just comes down to how these games perform and when I get them. Because obviously if I get the Steam Deck first, I'm going to be using the Steam Deck, but I doubt it. Something I didn't mention in my script is that compared to Nintendo, Steam is really, like, I know people have been talking about this for a while, but Steam is really good at cloud saves and like stuff like that. So I can just play as long as my devices are always connected to the internet, I can just play games. And like, it doesn't matter what device I'm using. I feel like I've gotten through everything I wanted to say. I am very excited for this thing. I hate sitting down on my PC and playing a game for like 50 hours, which is why I am very excited for this and why I love the Switch so much, because I can just pick it up and take it with me. That's why I love the Onin, because I can just pick it up and take it with me. Also, I'm getting dangerously close to 1,000 subscribers. So I just want to say thank you for all the support on the channel. And I have to figure out something to do for 1,000. So if you want to give suggestions, put them down below. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. But what do you guys think? Do you think I've made a mistake? Did you pre-order one of these other handheld Windows PCs like the Aya Neo or Loki or something like that? Let me know in the comments down below. I will see you hopefully next week. If not, probably like Saturday. Something like that. Bye-bye.